Radio 96.9 FM. Streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app. Nassau, Bahamas. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. I represent Bahamian people. I from Nassau, Bahamas, big up Baytown, bro. Boy, I from Baytown, bro. Right between West and Augusta, where them two roads meet, they call it Wilkinson Street. Manners and respect was like a sign blank check. It seems the ones that coming after quick to disrespect. You see, this life in the ghetto never easy. So many hungry days break till it grieve me. Way I doing the best I can, trying to turn my dollar to 100 grand. I represent the ghetto people. I from Nassau, Bahamas, big up Baytown, bro. Boy, I from Baytown, bro.
And welcome to another edition of Inside the Inner City that premieres every Friday at 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. every Friday except holidays. I'm your host, Valentino, a.k.a. Scrooge or Scroogey. Telephone numbers tonight are 323-6232, 325-4316, and 325-4259. You could text 422-GR96. Our producer in studios is Wally. And today we're going to have a wonderful show. You know, we like to have our Kong-Sada show where we talk about a number of topics because, like I say, only very few occasions I would stick to one topic. I think that we is covering enough in the 30 minutes to mix it up so we could cover a lot of topics because, you know, I only have 1 week on Friday. But I get all the news at the end of Friday. So what comes on Monday and Tuesday, I have enough time to study and respond to whatever's going on in the country. So I want to say a special good night to each and every one of you who listen to Inside the Inner City and also listen to Guardian Radio. I want to firstly give out a community announcement. Tomorrow, Saturday, the 1st of November 2025, time 3 p.m. until, I think this is someone, Frankie, will be having a costume party for the entire community. There'll be kids, adults, they'll have hot dogs, a lot of food, gifts, best costume, prizes and surprises. So all of you who are not part of the community of Fritz Lane, Thompson Lane, anywhere up in that constituency where the New Charms location is, that's the boss man of the company is Frankie. He always gives back every year to his community with different programs and different initiatives. He celebrates Easter, he celebrates Christmas, he celebrates back to school, where he uses his business venture and connections to make things happen in that part of the community. So, yes, this Saturday, Fritz Lane, the Charms One parking lot. There'll be prizes and surprises, best costume. So please come out and enjoy a wonderful outing sponsored by Charms. Okay? Yes. All right. I also want to give out birthday wishes to a good friend of mine, also a good friend of Elroy, a very intelligent young man, one who has started from small, created himself to be a business owner, and he has enhanced it by getting better. I want to give Omar from Master Creation on our Wolf Road a birthday. Shout out today, it's his birthday. And for many others out there doing similar programs, making yourself a business person and helping your employees, but also continuing to climb and being able to help people, and also giving people cheap prices and giving them advice on, what type of paint and et cetera, what they would need to, make their house look beautiful, and recommendation like that, some of the cheapest prices. So we want to give a shout out to Omar again, doing our master creation on Wolf Road. And again, to his friend, Elroy. Okay, today's show, we're going to talk about how we progress as a country, or how we regress as a country. And the reason why I'm on the show today is because, we have a lot of candidates right now who are vying to be members of parliament and a government that is looking to repeat as government, which is the Progressive Liberal Party led by the Honorable Brave Davis and Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper. And then we have the Free National Movement. We have the opposition leader, Michael Pintard, who is vying to become the next Prime Minister of the country. He has his team. And we have Coalition of Independents, led by leader Lincoln Bain, looking to change the status quo. One is in opposition, two is in opposition. One is the opposition leader. There's a member of parliament of the Coalition of Independents who defect and went over to the Coalition of Independents. He left the Free National Movement, and he makes the Coalition of Independents has a voice in parliament. So each of these organizations, one is the government, one is the former government, one is looking to be a first-time government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, which stating that they're willing to do certain things for Bahamian people. And the conversation is today, we have a lot of candidates. We have here definite candidate for Juan Miller constituency, Mr. Brian Brown. And then you have Coalition of Independents, Mr. Brian Roll. And then we have a independent candidate, former Free National Movement candidate, Karen Butler. And then we have the PLP candidate, Ms. Hector. This is a seat that they're fighting for, the late, great member of Parliament, Vaughan Miller. And it's an open house, and we're going to have a by-election. And many people are saying that this by-election is like a testing ground to see whoever wins this. This would be more like a guideline on what's to come to the general election, because basically, you have a sitting member of parliament who passed away. And, we had a lot of positive and negative with the government on major issues. For instance, the unions. We had some problems, the external problems with the Royal Bahamas Police Force when it comes to corruption. We have had people complaining about, the minimum wage, which the government increased. And, we had a lot of, immigration problems where we feel that, first line of defense when it comes to immigration, where we see corruption, or we assume a corruption, where passports are given to foreign nationals who have not qualified. Many Bahamians feel that, we have an influx of illegal immigrants. So with all that said, we have a lot to deal with, a lot we need to talk about in the country, which we cannot cover. But at the same time, we want to have a conversation. Over the years, these candidates who are vying for this position, whether you're PLP or FNM, has changed dramatically. Because one time ago, we were just electing members of parliament. Even though me and you still don't have a say on who is going to be the candidate for that particular constituency, because it still is up to the party. But what they have done now is, because the Bahamian people have said that, these MPs, say in the last 50 years, have not done what they were supposed to do when it comes to groundwork, like repairing homes or keeping the park utilized year-round with programs, basketball programs, volleyball program, exercise for the older people in the community on the parks, and etc. Things like garbage collection, coming up with creative ideas on how you could start small businesses, coming up with creative ideas on how you can maintain the area that it don't get out of hand, where we have dialect vehicles everywhere in the community, garages set up where we're fixing cars, everything is unorganized and unfit for citizens to live. So we call them deadbeat MPs. So over the course of the last 10 years, what has happened in the complaints of all of us, they start to screen the MPs now. They want people who are more committed on the ground, who is not going to be a deadbeat MP on the ground. So they have a screen now where the association goes around and they put candidates who they feel is qualified to be the candidate for that particular party. So they pick a few members of the party and they put them against one another. And then they go to election. And who gains the most votes becomes the candidate who would represent in the upcoming general election. That's the same procedure they put in place to make sure we don't have no deadbeat MPs. And so doing so, we have improved little. And, it is a little improvement because we still can't decide on who we really representative of that community. We can never pick Wally. It always has to be somebody who is part of the PLP, some part of the FNM, or someone who's part of the coalition. That is up to the leaders and the association members and branch members who decide that. The Bahamian people don't decide that. But what we do decide is that when they put them there, we go to the polls based on how the performance of the government, especially the Prime Minister and Deputy Prime Minister, and their members, means the candidates or the members of Parliament, and we vote on how they perform. And that's how we vote when we go to the general election. So with all that said, they have made improvements. So we just want to talk a little bit about who were some good MPs, former and current, and what steps we need to follow to make sure that we get this good type of representation. Okay, I want to say a few voices. From my experience, one of the best MPs who I know personally is the late, great Charles Maynard. Now, you may not know this. He passed away with heart attack a few years ago. But Mr. Maynard really was an MP. He really would sit down and talk with you and have a discussion with you. And he would never leave you out of the conversation when it comes to fulfilling plans towards the country, if you're making sense. The late, great Charles Markey, he was a very good MP. I want to give my respects to him as well. He was a very good MP. I had a good relationship with him, and I feel that if he didn't pass away and he was still living, I feel we would get a lot of things accomplished with Charles Maynard. He was a very, very good MP. Easy to get along with. Outspoken, but easy to get along with. The next great MP who I could remember as a young boy, who helped many people, is the late, great Bradley Roberts from the Progressive Party. He's a family member of mine. He frequented the Grandstand community that I reside in. And Mr. Bradley Roberts is the one who went around. He got a lot of properties sorted out for many residents of the Main and Grandstand community, where he helped got their papers straight and helped them purchase a lot of the properties in the Main and Grandstand community. Okay, very good MP. That's something that we need to duplicate because he helped. He was way ahead of his time. But he did an awesome job of making sure the poor people who represented him, he would go and look out for them. So he was a good representative too. Our next great former member of Parliament that many people don't talk about and who does great charity work in the country, from the Cancer Society to many of the organization, the Red Cross, and all of these programs that, many Bahamians have these ailments and sickness, but many people don't know because some people like to remain anonymous. So Montague Montague MP, Mr. Brent Simonet, for instance. In this constituency where he lives, in the north, he keeps it quiet. Whenever there was something that damaged people's furniture or whatever was going on in that particular constituency, Mr. Simonet would buy appliances for residents. He would help them fix their houses and build houses for particular residents in their community. Good MP keeps it quiet. You know, like I say, donates to many of the charity organizations that many Bahamians go to in this country are sponsored by him and his wife, but they keep things quiet. They like to remain anonymous. That's the next good former MP and good people, okay? Let me just tell you that, okay? But they like to remain anonymous. Simonets, trust me, they help a lot of people in this country. Many people might say things, you know, about this and that, but these people give millions to charity. I just want you to know that the Cancer Society and all that stuff, the Red Cross and all that stuff, and whatever you see going on, that's be them. You know, they are very giving. Next, you go to MP. And sometimes it's good to have wealthy members of parliament who are running for these constituencies, okay? Reason why I say that, like I said, Mr. Simonet, we had Bradley Roberts, who did great on the ground helping people. You had one from the PLP, you had one from the Free National Movement, one was the chairman, one was a member of parliament, one was a deputy prime minister. But their impact was way greater than politics because they help people, okay? And that's the kind of leaders and candidates and MPs we want in this country, okay? And next, great candidate who I feel is going to make a good contribution to the country. Not just because of their wealth, it's because they actually have been doing things for many, many years. As they achieved their wealth, they were given. And this is not to say, tell me, this is not to encourage nobody to vote. I'm just saying that for me, anything or anyone, a part of any organization individually, independently, and you're doing the things that is going to benefit the people of that community or that country, and I feel that you're going to give it an edge, and I know your background means that you're a decent person, you like to give, and you like to help, and you're not doing nothing for the camera. You're doing these things because you're being blessed, and you're giving back. And one person I think is going to be very beneficial. Now, again, I'm not telling no one to vote for nobody. I'm just telling you how I feel as an individual, and this just is my take on how I know people can make changes in the community. Stingy people, kind people, concerned people with integrity. You know, sometimes it might not look like that as the individual, but that's the characteristics we want. A person who can have ideas and have the resources to mobilize. And the next great candidate who I think would be good for that community, despite the party have a lot of issues when it comes to, again, immigration, when it comes to the corruption on the police force, which is being handled by the Supreme Court in New York. Also, some matters are being dealt with here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas by the disciplinary board of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. And also matters are before the DDP and the Coroner's Court. I know we're taking steps. The Progressive Liberal Party candidate for Fort Charlotte, I think that is a big plus for them, because not only that Sabaz is earning his riches, he has become very, very good at what he does. He is done talking about empowering. He is a construction business Mongol. He turned it over, but he has resources now that he's running to be a candidate. But he can change a lot of things in that community because he has the resources, he has the team. So a lot of houses can fix. A lot of small business can be created within that community so that the community itself can sustain itself. And this, again, would lead to a better mindset of change of individuals in that part of the community because he would be open to them. He would have different offices and set up, I guess, to accommodate the many complaints, which he knew what the complaints are. I just watched on Facebook a few days ago, and I said it on the show Friday, that I feel that if he was a candidate and become the member of parliament of Fort Charlotte, how the change he can bring. And I talked about home repair. I talked about, cleaning up the community, cutting down in the trees, maintaining it by removing all the dialect vehicles and garbage that had been plaguing the community for many years that I'm doing in Grandstand now at the tutelage of one Mr. Simonet and his wife that are assisting me as with free garbage bin delivery and guys to help remove the garbage in my community that I reside in. And that was the partnership I was able to create so that I could use my connection to make a change in the community. And I feel that with the people in Fort Charlotte, the opportunity would increase more for them. Because now you'd have someone who is a member of parliament. You might not see him on a regular basis, but he has people on the ground working, because I watched on the video, he has guys checking the houses. There was a lady who was giving a report who was a resident of the community, and she is showing how he's taking assessments of a house, looking to put house doors, roof, and etc. And that's what I'm looking for from a member of parliament or a candidate of the Free National Movement. We need MPs who think this way, not just sit down in parliament and debate and fight against one another in parliament and know that we have a crisis where we're seeing just recently where a mom who was evicted was sleeping on a car on a beach, and the two kids was autistics, and then there was some assistance from Coalition of Independence, and then when you read the day, you would see where she got some assistance from the Ministry of Social Service, where I guess she got some assistance. So we have this problem going on in our country. So we need members of parliament who can be concerned about their communities. For instance, we look at the family island. I've always said in the show that where there's a population of people, that member of parliament of that particular constituency supposed to strategize, survey the community, and know exactly what the community needs, where it starts from ambulance, where it starts from clinics, where it starts from parks, where it starts from running water, where it starts from putting up lampposts in areas that are dangerous and hazardous to motorists. A prime example, we just had a recent murder on Munnings Road. And if you listen closely to the residents, they were saying illegal activities being happening in Munnings Road. They just find a mom out there who were apparently killed by her boyfriend. And she was pregnant. And the residents of that community said they've been pleading the government for a very long time to put some lighting and etc. We had a young lady lost her life on the other end of Nassau where she came around the curve out east. And she ran overboard, around the curve. And the people of that community say they've been having problems a long time, asking the government to put up signs or lighting so that people would know, or slow down signs to know that this is a curve, because it's so dark and sometimes people be a little drunk driving late at night, and you don't see the lines in the road, so you think it is a straight road, but that there is not just a straight road. What you think is a straight road, that is rocks and that is sea. So we want MPs to do their background check on their constituency before becoming a member of parliament, so that you know what to debate on. Because right now, the way how we do things as members of parliament can no longer be accepted in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas no more, because we're leaving too much people behind. We had on the family island, for instance, there was a lady who, was sick, and she had to be put on the back of a truck in the rain. Shame on the MP. You understand? Because he know that there's a population there. He know that accident happen, emergencies happen, okay? So he's supposed to put in his budget that we need an ambulance here or two ambulances here. One on standby and one just in case there's one break down. We're supposed to have a fire engine here as well. We need a clinic down here as well. Okay, we need air transport as well, you know. So that's what we want from the MP, you know. We have the F&M candidate, Ryan Brown, Coalition of Independence, Brian Roll, PLP candidate, Darren Pickstock, an independent candidate, former National Movement candidate, Karen Butler. Now, Karen Butler, she ran last general election, and I think she lost. So now she is running as an independent. Now, let me tell you something again. An independent candidate can be a very powerful candidate. Let me just tell you, okay? An independent candidate, if they're serious, they know what they're doing, they can actually be a prime minister in their community. So if an independent candidate goes in and wins their seat, do you know what they can demand from the government if they do a survey on their community? So that's where the change could come as well. An independent candidate can change the scope of the whole entire election if they know what they're doing. Becoming an independent candidate that is not tied to none of the three political parties. You yourself become a political party because you can make changes. Every time your debate come up, whatever your community needs as an independent candidate, you address it straight to the Prime Minister. So that when the Prime Minister does his budget debate, whatever you ask for your community, he'd have to address you properly and give you what you want, as long as you negotiate with a kind and an approachable way, not demanding, but making address to the Prime Minister that I'd like to put some running water in this individual house. You have everything tabled. You know, I got some old people who are disabled in my community. I would like to see how we could fix these houses for them. So an independent candidate is very, very powerful as long as he knows the type of power he or she has. So Ms. Karen Butler, you know, if people understand how important an independent member of parliament can be just like a prime minister. Each and every member of parliament who is MP is like a governor, okay? And they could get certain things done. But the one who is independent about the Free National Movement, the PLP and the coalition, and you in there by yourself and just representing your people, and your people is going around and serving the area and say, we need this and we need that, and have all these things structured properly. When you make your address to Parliament, that means you're not changing it. You're not challenging nobody in the Parliament. You're just asking the Prime Minister. And that's how I learned that. I learned that from Priceville Forbes. That's why he was undefeated in Honduras. I remember him addressing the Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram in House of Parliament when the PLP was opposition. And I listened to when Hubert Ingram, he addressed Hubert Ingram in Parliament, and Hubert Ingram listened to what Priceville Forbes had to say as an opposition, and what we call it, an enemy. But the Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas is the Prime Minister for all, and Priceville Forbes understand that. So instead of him using his party and attack the Prime Minister, he made his debate in Parliament saying that he need this and he need that, and if the Prime Minister can help him. And I think him and the Prime Minister flew to Honduras. And I think the programs were completed. I'm not too sure, but things happened because Priceville Forbes didn't go in there attacking the Free National Movement government. He went in there to do the people's work. He know that his government is the opposition. He's a sitting MP. And if he really represent the people, then he have to do what is right for the people. And that is mean not what is right for him. Because if it's up to him, he would go more party and just, I ain't gonna deal with Hubert Ingram. I ain't gonna ask him for this. I can go in Parliament and say, he didn't help me. And I'm gonna try to get some private sponsors to do this, and I'm gonna try and make him look bad. But he didn't did that. And that's why he was able to accomplish a lot. So an independent in this country or any community that the people who respect, and if you're tired of the status quo, and if the independent candidate has some idea on how they could use their power, that when they go and host assembly, you're not trying to fight the prime minister. You're not trying to fight the opposition. Only when it's necessary. All you want to do is table what your community needs. We need an ambulance. We need a clinic. We need some speed bumps. We need some a small business office setup in here. These are the kind of stuff that you want your MP to represent you on. Okay? So these 4 candidates right here, to me, Mr. Brian Brown, Coalition for Independence, Brian Roll, PLP, Darren Pickstock, independent candidate, former Free National Movement candidate, Kieran Butler. You all have a great task if you're successful in becoming a member of Parliament. Because I'm going to say this. Look at our country. We are a violent nation. If you look at the campaign going on right now with the Golden Isles constituency, I think that's Mr. late great Warren Miller, who me people, not no bragging right, was the one who he asked if he wanted to go, if he should go in politics, and if he go in politics, how he could help. And I was the one encouraging him. Same thing with former F&M Minister of Education, Jeffrey Lloyd. And there's a few other politicians I could call as well, who over the years I gave my word of advice to, and they use me as an individual with my street knowledge and coming on their platform to promote themselves, to have conversation with me and tie in with the community, because they know having a conversation with me, there was a brighter view of audience that wins me, because they know what I talk about in the city and what needs to happen since. So yes. So again, all members of Parliament, who are vying to be members of Parliament, and you guys don't know the responsibility you guys, if you're successful, have in your hands. Because God is watching you guys. You understand? And He's going to see, this leadership that you want, and you're asking the people to give you a chance. And if we give you a chance, we give you a chance. But are you going to give us a chance that when you get in, you're going to do some things to improve the lives of the everyday citizen that resides in the community? I'm talking about all of them, And there are some good candidates surfacing in the election cycle right now, But what I'm saying, that if you pick up on, the Bahamian people ain't fools as well, but a helping hand is a helping hand, okay? During the rainy season a few weeks ago, the entire Bahamas basically flooded. Pinewood Gardens and all kind of places flooded, right? Water's up to your window, right? So many of the candidates, government, MPs, they hired the sewer trucks, the pump trucks to come around and pump up the water. So we are seeing some from Dr. Fox, who is running for the Free National Movement in the Fox Hill constituency against Fred Mitchell, And hard to say this, right? I know there's a lot of people in Fox Hill who Fred Mitchell represent. And it's hard, and as much as I'm going to say this, and as much as I don't want to say that I'm going to give a little credit to, even Fred Mitchell does a good job in Fox Hill. You got to give him credit, because I watch people and listen to their response, on the TV and radio, you won't hear that many people come out and talk about Fred Mitchell when it comes to community development. Now, him as a member of parliament and member and minister of what's it now? He's Minister of Foreign Affairs. People don't like him for that, but as a member of parliament, he does some stuff in this community. So I can't say he is a bad MP. He might be a bad. No, he's not a bad member. He's not a bad MP because he does work on the ground, and you can see the people like him too. You know, I watch. You know, and I criticize him for some things he say, but other than that, like I say, I criticize you for that one thing that you do, not basically entirely everything you do, because you do some good stuff as well. Each individual, you know, it's just that one thing you do, I talk about it, but they does good stuff. So he's not a bad MP. He's just a bad foreign affairs minister, and he need to be more respectful to the Bahamian people. You understand? Which that is never going to happen because he's kind of arrogant, and that's one of the reasons a lot of people say things about him. And then there's the other reason as well, you know, his personality and etc. But other than that, you know, because when it comes to general election, when he lost the last time, he only lost by a couple of votes. You know, so it shows you that means, you know, he has a connection with the people, and he does some stuff as well. You know, Mr. Fox, you know, he was in Fox Hill. He seems to be a very good gentleman as well, a good candidate as well in the Fox Hill area, because he is doing the groundwork. I see him and the son were pumping up the water, hire the water trucks to pump up the water, and then he was doing some other stuff active on the ground. Now, I don't know if they've been doing this 4 years, or all of a sudden they're doing it because it's getting close to general election, or if they just decided to be a candidate, and this is the reason why they were just able to start doing this stuff. But you're seeing this all around from a lot of the MPs that they on the ground are trying to make a difference. And this is how we want it. We want you guys to be consistent. We want you guys to go on the ground and make some things happen to that community. You know, if you have to fix all the garbage bins on the street, for instance, so that the dogs can't turn over, build them with a concrete. Then if you want to put up some side garbage bins like with Bay Street, so that people driving a car in this constituency, where instead of them just driving the car and churning the ball out or churning the chip out, and you get churned in the car, you know, you could say, now, look, in chipping arm, you know, there are garbage bins on the side of the road. You could drive the car and you could put it on the side of the road, Bay Street, you know. And I'd like to say this: be nasty as Bahamians, okay? Be nasty. There are so many people in this country who would drive their car, they'd spit out the window, they eat in the Kentucky, and they say they turn the whole Kentucky box out the window, the McDonald's box out the window, and they riding, people walking on the side of the road, and they'd be spitting out the window. I say we some nasty people. I ain't gonna lie, honestly speaking, some of us are nasty. You know, you clean up the community, you know, people dumping right back again. So the government spending millions and millions to clean up, and when you look, people come right back, dirty the place right up, put cars right back. You know, so we need strict rules right now, and we need the MPs to put their foot down and have a team of people to just go around these communities and have a survey report and make sure that we could keep these community clean, man, because we have to come down on these people who nasty, man, because the Bahamas ain't supposed to be this way. Listen why it ain't supposed to be that way. When the flood happened in Pinewood, if Pinewood was down in any city community where there was all those garbage in those yards, then you would have seen something. You know what I mean? Then you would have seen garbage. You imagine all the garbage floating from all them yards in these communities. Now they're getting cleaned up now. But they're saying all the garbage would be in there for so long a time, you know, like around by us. If I wasn't around there with my resources and using my resources to help the community, and they're not paying nothing for this. This is just me making my connections and doing this because I know it has to be done. I know that the MP is unable to have a bin run every week, you know, because he have other things to do, and the time frame is, you know, it just goes far. So I take it upon myself to make myself an active person in my community and help any way possible. And That's what he does. So I know that. Because I know that, we need the garbage removed and we want a better community. And I know that when hurricane comes around, all the garbage floats out. So you can imagine all the garbage floating out. And this is how the drains get clogged, by the way. You know how the drains get clogged? Those same garbage that comes up on the road, goes in the water, goes down in the drain, clogs the drain. All over Nassau. Why do you think the drains are clogged? All the garbage, all the chip papers, all the cheese doodle papers, all the Capri Sun, all the the balls ain't grinding, but the balls breaking, and then they grind in the water when the water is rushing. So we even clog the drain because of garbage. So we have to find a way to maintain a clean environment. And then you can imagine all our earth, if there was a catastrophic storm like what happened in Jamaica, Melissa. Huh? What you think could happen, with all the litter? All the drains clogged, the water polluted, garbage everywhere. So the rescue effort is going to be hampered. So that's why we need to keep a clean, pristine Bahamas. Okay, my producer is telling me we're going to have to take a break on Inside the Inner City. So, listeners, please don't go away. We rock on Inside the Inner City after the break.
People, I from Nassau, Bahamas, big up Midtown, bro. Where I from Midtown, bro. Right between West and Augusta, where them two roads meet, they call it Wilkinson Street. Manners and respect was like a sign blank check. It seems the ones that come in after quick to disrespect. You see, this life in the ghetto never easy. So many hungry days break till it grieve me. Way I doing the best I can, trying to turn my dollar to 100 grand. I represent the ghetto people, I from Nassau, Bahamas, big up Midtown, bro. Where I from Midtown, bro.
Always on the go? Missed the show? You can now listen to Guardian Radio talk shows anytime, anywhere on Spotify and YouTube by searching Guardian Radio 96.9 FM or by entering the name of your favorite show. You can also listen by logging on to guardiantalkradio.com and clicking on the podcast tab. Guardian Radio, continuing to provide you with fresh news and smart talk anywhere, anytime, all day.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let's bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Girl, you see how Cora eye look funny, all black up yesterday?
But she say she bump into a wall when she's running after the churn them.
Yeah, but last Saturday you see her arm was all black and blue, right?
So what you saying? You think something wrong between her and Jack?
I ain't sure, but you know Jack is a jealous man. I hear him and Cora last Friday. I hear him say he hear Cora have eyes for Junior.
Now you know that ain't true. Cora is a good woman, does mind her business, take care of them churn, and go to church every Sunday. So what you think we should do?
I think we should report Jack, Cora don't say nothing, but silence hides violence, and we don't want to line up in the cemetery.
Not me. I ain't getting in nobody business, then Jack come after me, and I line up next to Cora.
No, man, we could call a text Crime Stopper. And remember, we can even get some grocery money for our tip.
Remind me again, how does this work?
We can call them in Miami at 328-TIPS or 328-8477. Or when we in the island, call toll-free at 300-TIPS or 300-8477. And if you don't have no minutes, use the Crack Crime Bahamas app and we could text them and the messages get on mix up before it leave your phone so nobody can know what you saying.
So what we waiting on then? Let's go earn some grocery money.
You try to rest, but roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers, for window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
La 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 la. La 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 la.
Oh, okay, we're back on Inside the Industry. What I want to do, I want to play some clips from the Free National Movement, the Progressive River Party, and I think, if possible, I think I have a clip of the Coalition of Independents candidate for the constituency, and I want you to listen closely to their words, what they are saying that they want to do this and they're pointing fingers at one another. But the message is that they're tired of the people, needing help, but go on their affairs. So I want to play this first. Let me see which one I can play first. Another one, excuse me. My bad. Okay. This is the Free National Movement. This is... This is Brian Braun. He's the candidate.
From Anatole Rogers High School gym with his pink slip in hand moments after he nominated for the upcoming by-election. He warned constituents of Golden Isles not to be fooled by recent road repairs and donations of building supplies by the government.
Now the PLP hopes you'll forget all of that. They pick someone of thin air, someone who doesn't live here, doesn't know our struggle, and won't change a thing. He ain't loyal to Golden Isles. No, sir. He's loyal to Philip Davis and the PLP. Yes. He's just looking for his opportunity. He's camping straight from the PLP playbook. He show up before an election, pay a few roads, hang out for a few contracts, take a few pictures, and hope you forget their bad ways.
Brown vowed that if elected, he will bring about real change in the southwestern New Providence constituency.
Listen to me. Golden Isles is not for sale. You can pave every road, patch every sidewalk, and host every ribbon cutting, but you cannot be trusted. I am not big on talking. I don't slap up. I work, and I have a plan. When you send me to Parliament, I'll fight every single day to make life easy for families in Golden Isles. I'll push for better infrastructure, safer roads, reliable drainage, proper street lighting. I'll champion small business as we create real jobs right here at home.
Brown was the fourth candidate to nominate today. He previously ran for the 2021 general election, but lost to PLP candidate Vaughn Miller. Miller's sudden death in September triggered the by-election, which will be held on November. He expressed confidence that the outcome will be different this time around.
Tell your friends. That's right. Tell your neighbors. Yes. Right. Tell your family members. And Golden Isles, this time around, let's make history on November 24th. Let's take back Golden Isles.
Reporting for the Guardian News Network, I'm LaTonya Roberts.
Some good reporting by the Guardian. See this kind of stuff, we're like, y'all getting to it now. So I love that with the Guardian now. And you hear the talks what the candidates is saying, right? That's Brian Braun, okay? And he already saying, fix the roads. You want to fix the roads. Here's the plan. He want to do infrastructure, okay? You listen to him, and he's saying that that Darren Pickstock, who is the PLP, hopeful to win the by-election, Brian Roll is saying this to him because these are the things that the government was doing in the constituency of Golden Isles. They're fixing the roads and they're doing some, building some homes and giving away keys. So he is saying that don't be distracted by that. That's just for camera and stuff like that. That individual is not serious, and if you give him a chance, he would go and do these things because he have a plan. So I'm telling you, and you know where this plan came from? Me. If anyone listen to me, that's what I've been saying over the years for our members of parliament to do and our government to do. So you see, this is how you can also govern. You can use your influence, and this is what I do when I go to the IDB bank. This is what I do when I sit down with government officials. I put these things in their ass. Okay, so yes. So again, they're going at it and saying that give them a chance. And what they do. But the key issue for Bahamians, I want you to understand, is that we want infrastructure. What they're talking about is what we want. He's talking about small business introducing the community. That's what we want in each and every community. We want pharmacy in each and every community, okay? We want, we're seeing there's some clinics the government is building right now. One is across from National Insurance, and these to deal with the volume of people to the various different clinics. So the government also are building clinics. Even on the family island, you must give government credit for that as well. So they're doing some things. They're doing some infrastructure work that we sometimes do not talk about, but they're doing it. There are clinics being built. There's one, like I told you, right across from the National Insurance, okay? And there's some building on the family island as well to make sure the needs of the Bahamian people are met. But we need continuous. We're going to take this call on Guardian Radio. Go ahead, caller. You're on Inside in the City. Call, you still there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes. Good night to you.
Yeah. Listen, I listened to what you just played on air. You know, I always say people need to understand how the system ought to be working. A person who is a member of the House of Assembly has to have the cooperation of the government of the day to assist the constituents in that particular constituency.
Yes,
that
sir.
is the way how the system ought to be working.
Yes, sir.
That is not happening.
That's not happening, is correct.
The man said to the other party, who is the leader of that party, said that he needs the seat to do what he is doing there. I asked the question on my show, what is it that he's doing in Golden Isles? I asked the constituents what major constituency problems have been solved in Golden Isles. That's one. What are the clear-cut benefits that come to them as a result of these major constituency problems having been solved? You know the things what the gentleman just said?
Yes, sir.
I've been hearing that from January the 10th, 1967. I am not impressed with what he said.
Go ahead, Mr. Thompson.
Life has to be more than that, Brother Brown.
Dan talk to it. Yes, sir, I agree.
What about the quality of life
Yes, sir.
that people are enjoying? Oh, well, they ought to. Not only in that particular constituency, but in my constituency.
Yes, sir.
which is
Yes,
Santa
sir.
Hill.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Where's the improvement?
Yes, sir.
Everything can't go just to say fixing roads and
No, sir.
potholes and some street lights, you clean one yard, you knock down some bushes. What are you saying to me? You know, you are giving things that, like I say, I heard from January the 10th, 1967, and they keep telling you, you know how these politicians go? They keep telling you, there's much more work to be done.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
What is it that you have already done?
Mm-hmm.
And I cannot see any clear-cut benefits that is happening to these particular constituencies, and in this case, we're dealing with Golden Isles.
Yes, sir.
Because I listened to some other tapes, you hadn't played them yet, but
Yes,
I
sir.
heard them on another show, where I said these things have been repeated over and over and over again.
Yes, sir.
And that is not helping the citizens. What about the quality of life?
Yes.
What about the crime?
Yes.
I didn't say nothing about that.
Yes.
I want to be safe if I'm living in, and I live in Portland, Castle.
Yes, sir.
But I want to be safe wherever I live.
Yes, sir.
How much protection can I get from the Royal Bahamas Police Force? I'm walking home in the night because I ain't got no car.
Mm-hmm.
And the fellas, they want to stop to pick me up to give me a ride.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they say, okay, fine, you keep your car, I'll keep walking.
So you're going to walk with the Kentucky. And the guy hungry who want the Kentucky.
Exactly, you got to go walk to get it, right? If you want it.
Yes, sir.
So the thing is that, you know, I think the voters in a given constituency
Yes, sir.
must look for the most qualified person.
Yes, sir.
Because we are so politically polarized. Now,
Yes.
here's what God's advice is.
Go ahead, sir.
Proverbs 29:2.
Yes, sir.
When the righteous are
In charge.
authority, the people rejoice.
Yes, sir.
And the opposite of that is when the wicked
Is in
bear
power.
rule, the
We could
people
perish.
mourn. Now, have you had a righteous candidate or righteous representative in the past, or have you had a wicked representative in the past. No one has been able to answer the question.
Yeah.
You know, I've been asking them that from July the 8th of last year, 2024.
Yes, sir.
I can't get an answer, Brother Brown.
Well, that's a good one.
These are people who've been living there 20 years, 15 years, and even some were more than 20 years.
Yes, sir.
So I think we have to look at the real issues, because we have some very serious issues that are impacting on the nation.
Yes, sir.
And those problems that impact on the nation will affect the people in Golden Isles.
Yes.
So it remains to be seen what happens. But God says if you don't have a righteous representative, ain't nothing happening for you.
Yes, sir.
You can keep catching hell. Either you're righteous
Yes, sir.
or you're wicked.
Yes, sir.
One of the two. Now, I'll add this before I go, Brother Brown.
Go ahead, sir.
51% or more
Yes, sir.
of the people in a given constituency must become righteous in their dealings one with another. That's a buffer the representative needs in order to maintain steadiness, peace, the peace, order, and goodwill, good government of the Commonwealth of Bahamas. That's what Parliament's supposed to bring to
Yes,
you.
sir. Yes, sir.
Is that happening in Golden Isles?
No, not as yet,
It
sir.
ain't happening in Centerville, I can tell you that.
Yes, sir.
Because they always got all kind of funny things happening in here.
Mm.
But there's a way to deal with it. You need a righteous representative.
Yes, sir.
And once you elect a righteous representative who will do that which is right
Yes, sir.
on behalf of the people, you're on the right track.
Yes,
Thank you,
sir.
Brother Brown.
Thank you, Mr.
Okay.
Thompson. You always contribute greatly, and I'm looking forward again to be a guest on your show. You know, he does a wonderful job on this show. Okay, you heard Mr. Thompson. You know, he's talking about. You know, he heard the same thing from 52 years ago, and he's completely correct. You know, you heard Mr. Brian Brown. You know, he made remarks to the PLP candidate, Mr. Pickstock, stating that, you know, he don't live in the community. He is not from the community. You know, he's not going to do nothing for the community. So I want to play let me see. Let me get this right here. 1 second. Oh, they're coming right now. Just give me a second. All right. Okay. Not that. Okay.
Doc became emotional as he vowed
Okay,
to
this
fight constituents.
this is Mr. Pickstock. Let's hear his. Go ahead.
Nominated for the Golden Isles by-election, he was brought to tears as he appealed to Golden Isles constituents to send him to the House of Assembly. A sea of Progressive Liberal Party supporters marched to Anatole Rogers High School this morning in support of Darren Pickstock, who was flanked by Prime Minister Philip Davis and members of his cabinet. The former PLP senator was allowed to enter the gymnasium with 20 people to nominate before emerging minutes later with his pink slip. Addressing a crowd of supporters on a rally-style stage, Pickstock became emotional as he vowed to fight for constituents.
I worked nights while I went to school in the day. But you know what? It built me. It taught me that no one, and I mean no one, will ever outwork me. And that's the same spirit I'm bringing to this campaign and to serving the people of the great constituency of Golden Isle.
Pickstock says he decided to throw his hat into the ring because he is tired of seeing Bahamians being ignored.
I am tired of people being ignored. That is why I'm running. I am tired of people calling for help and getting excuses. I am tired of seeing our communities wait years for this simple thing. A fixed street light, a paved road, a safe park for kids to play in. People are not asking for the world. They are not asking for the world. They are just asking for someone who listens, who shows up, and
Minister Davis promised that the PLP candidate will build on progress already made under the governing party.
In 24 days, the people of Golden Isles will make a choice. A choice about who they trust to represent them, who can deliver for them, and to keep our country moving forward. This election is not only about who sits in Parliament, it's about whether we keep building on the progress we have made together, or whether we risk going backwards. When I look at Darren Pickstock, I see the kind of leadership our country needs.
Okay, that's the two of the candidates. See if I can find the coalition one. But we have a caller on the line. So caller, you're on Inside Inner City. Go ahead.
Yes, we're sorry to disturb you.
Oh, no problem. No more. Man, he's a superstar, man. Go ahead, buddy.
You can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I didn't want to interrupt what you was doing. But I want to say it seems like Prime Minister Davis and Mario Boleg, the Minister of Youth and Sport, they not trying to, but it seems like they hijacked John Canoe. Our culture. And I don't think it's right. I think that's wrong what they're doing to go that far, how they going. And it seems like we wouldn't have the parade what we normally do. I hope the John Canoes them stand up and do what's right. I'm talking about the major John Canoes we grew up with. It sounds like some kind of hatred or it's something personal going on. Why they trying to cut our culture, our John Canoe community. I gotta believe, like you must see in a part of you must see in a behemoth to go that far. They care less. And sound like the minister being quoted in the news saying no one else could be able allowed to do any parade, no different time or any time like when it's the season when we normally do it. Sound like they care less what we say. This is the same Minister of Youth and Sport when we had the Garifta here about 2 or 3 years ago, and the audit, the report that come out. I think he retired now, Mr. Terrence Bastian.
Okay.
Where he said that like we didn't deal with the funds, the money, the right way, like stick to the budget and all of that stuff.
Okay.
And Mario Boleg, the Minister of Youth in Parliament, it's about for 2 years now. He said that either it was garbage juice or garbage, the report, and he bring his own report. Terrence Bastian, the former Auditor General, and when Terrence Bastian speaks, the world listens.
All right.
So I think it's wrong for them to go that far, and they got to remember this, friends, family, and lovers think this is our culture they playing with. I don't know which other try to do that to behemoth to disrespect. But you go in anybody's country and be talking to that the man and tell us the other day we didn't even know he was like a part of the Haitian. He said he's Haitian too. So I don't know if there's a reason why he can't only that Scrooge.
Yes, sir.
When I was younger, this night, Halloween night, we used to do a lot of foolishness, right?
Yes,
and
sir.
I shame it and I wish it didn't happen, but this happened. It happened, and now today, the young people think it's hard for older persons like me or others to really tell them how to conduct themselves or why they just shouldn't do certain things, Scrooge. And I started thinking, I said, I wonder if any fire or police officer or the authority commission police or whosoever, they listening to the show right now, because I wonder if they should be prepared, and all of those fire trucks should either have water inside them. They don't have to go looking for no water, because what I check, or maybe in other people's yard, like the everything is dry. Mm-hmm. Everything, although we had a lot of rain, how come reach here now, so it's dry. So I just want them suggesting that they be prepared just in case we do have a fire. And Scrooge, knowing that you get not a history, but you like a professor in it when it comes down to having solutions for crime.
Yes.
It's just a good night for them criminals to be doing foolishness, because I hear some AK shots before, not just on TV, but in the community sometimes, and they almost sound like firecrackers. So it's just a night the police should take serious, and like how we had our fun in our days, should they really, like if they see a crowd or they see them, should they run them children them home?
Yeah,
I'll hang up and listen.
Yeah, most definitely. Everyone has guns. Even back in our days, we had guns, and you got some of these kids who are very disrespectful, and the HOAs are the individual who passing in car. You don't know who or what people are going through, and some people right now ain't putting up with no one foolishness, because some people so stressed out and they take their anger. So yes, Halloween is something that we shouldn't even be celebrating at all. And even though we celebrated proper, yes, we did it. But when you really look at the history of it, you're going out there throwing eggs at people and asking people for candy in this kind of time. You get little girls, you get little boys walking around in the neighborhood, going door to door, and you don't know who these kids is corresponding to or talking to, and you don't know who or what type of individual, sexual predator, and the kids then be out late, the parents ain't checking for them, they're running up and down the road, and then, with the firecrackers, you hit the wrong person with the egg. Some guys opened fire because a couple of years ago, by Peter Street, there were some young guys who passed Quaco Street Police Station and saw some guys walking, and they threw a lot of eggs, some little guys, and this guy some opened fire at these guys. You understand? Young kids, 14, 15, and 13 got shots fired at them because they threw eggs at some individuals who should have gone out because the guys them ain't playing that type of game. So, and then again, the police are itchy trigger right now. So, yes, they should run kids. If they're seeing them assemble in the streets showing eggs, the police should run them. It should, because it's very dangerous in Nassau right now to be throwing eggs, And sometimes it's not just throwing eggs, they're throwing frozen egg, egg that is frozen. You understand? So that is nothing to play with. That's about all of it. And, he's saying that the kids don't listen nowadays, I just want to run through something real quick. There was a dispute at the fish fry event last week, and then there were also individuals who were showing young kids. Some of them reside in the community. Most of them, saw on the Facebook pages and stuff like that. Were my cousins and stuff like that. One or two of them are locked up now. And to tell you the truth, Papa talked about the kids ain't listening nowadays. Those kids have good parents, They have good parents. Those young men who you see the other day was displaying a character of violence, they have good parents. I know their mom, I know their dads, you understand? And most of them are cousins. What you saw on Facebook is a bunch of cousins, you understand, some live in the community. And one who lost his life, his family lives in the community. And the community is in a state of shock, because, a young man lost his life. But not only that, our next young man was attacked. And everyone has children. So that could be anyone's children. So even the fathers and mothers of these kids, they are saying to themselves, kids have gone wrong. They themselves took good care of their kids. Good parents, I know them poison, I'm going to tell you this. They give their kids everything that they need and want. But the kids today, they 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Their brains are not fully developed. I was that age, and I've been in a lot of illegal activity, and it took me a very long time to understand the mistakes that I was making in life. I was given more than one opportunity to live again. In fact, I think I've been spared over 20-something times of losing my life, where my life was most taken, but God himself protected me with those bullets past me. And they hit friends, and bullets killed friends that were meant for me. So I'm not criticizing them. It's just that today's society, where there's nothing really happening inside the community for these youngsters to pick up a nice trade, or have a good opportunity. Mr. Thompson was talking about that in the 52 years, and this is what he's talking about, the progress, the empowerment. And many of these kids that we see in the community today, they don't know what they want to do with their future. So their first choice, all right, take guns with them. And this is just not one set of young guys. This is a group of guys all around Nassau, New Providence. And like I said, the incident that happened before that, the murder scene that happened before that, that young gentleman who lost his life, I know his father. He is one of my relatives as well, who were killed about 4 months on fish ride. Now this next gentleman is my cousin's son. You understand? And when you look at the footage, there's wrongness done. Wrongness is done on both sides. You can't say my son is right or my son is right. Everyone has children. The one who getting beat on the ground, he has a mother, he has a father, right? The guys them who stumping the guy, they have mothers, they have fathers. Their mothers and fathers are seeing them. And their mothers and fathers are not taking it for them. It's just that the mothers and fathers can't do nothing. You understand? They do all they can to make sure their kids have the best tennis. They work hard. I know these people. You understand? Their kids don't need nothing. I know their grandparents. I know their whole entire family. All of us are basically family in that community. And this is one of the reasons I changed my life. And see how we could slow this down. Because there are so many mothers out there losing their kids to violent crimes. You know how much mothers crying right now as we speak, can't sleep. Huh? But you can't blame nobody. Because it's the deterioration of the country that makes our youngsters violent. They don't know how to conduct themselves. They come from good parents. Their parents provide the best for them. But yet still when they go out there and they hang around that age bracket, they're not mature. You understand? They're not mature. And anyone knows us as a society. When you're 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, you trying to tell me you ain't gonna make no mistakes, that your life is perfect? Who? Who gonna get breaking at 13? Whether you're a boy or a girl or 14 or 12. Huh? You lose your virginity. Huh? Who ain't going behind the school and duck school and smoke dope or thief something with their mother purse or do something? Be all of it because we were young. We forget that we were young. And what they're doing is life and death. But I understand. And we have to find a way, like Mr. Thomas say, and get ahead of the problem by investing and changing the mindset of our youth in the country today. I know those kids. Listen to me. All of them are cousins. The majority of them are cousins. They're my cousins, okay? And when I saw it, I know them by name, and then I saw people name them off on Facebook. And they're not bad kids. They're not bad young, but they're not disrespectful to no one in the community, you know. But it's just that when they go out, not even when they go, when other kids go out who just like them, want to party, you know, everyone just loses their mind with a little bit of rum get in their head. And everyone wants to protect themselves because they go over their friends, and when their friends get in problems, they get into it too. And I want guys who are involved in gang activity in the country. It's our gang go. In gang go, you're going to lose friends. You're going to lose loved ones. You're going to take life. But also, you're going to be responsible for causing your friends and your family because we have no control over that. I don't care what gang you're in. I don't care how bad you're in or what community you live in. There's retaliation coming from all sides. And I'm talking all around Nassau. You know? And that's just the way it is. You have no control over that. I was a guy on the streets, and you see how much time I told you I got shot at? And I was a bad guy on the streets? You're going to lose friends. You're going to lose family, and you know who's going to feel guilty at the end of the day? You. And this is going to get to you. But they are young, and I understand, so we have to change the mindset. We're going to take this next call. Go ahead, caller. You're on Inside in the City.
Hey, Scrooge.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was saying, you know, I can't see all maturing what I never see. All of them can see. I thank God for that. They're telling me, say, Daddy, the fireworks look so pretty, right? So I tell them to go inside, do the little video or whatsoever. But you know what I did rather than, just maybe so the parents could think about, rather than buying them fireworks and stuff would look good, I try to buy them some food.
Makes sense.
That's what I did. Scrooge, I ain't trying to cause you get more emotional. And Scrooge, it's good to get it out and give them, give the listeners the example, the experience you made right. Scrooge, my sister, I tell you, a couple of days after I get blind, she gets starved to death, and I was the oldest. You could imagine the responsibility I felt as the oldest, in spite of being blind, can't see nothing.
Wow.
I want to know what your view, because I think I heard before, and maybe it needs to be said again, for the leaders, the lawmakers, to understand how some of us feel. You see, the other day, there's somebody being charged for killing a lady who was pregnant.
Yes.
He get charged for murder for one person. That was a life. I think it's personal to you, too.
Yes.
You understand? So what you think we need to do in that situation? You think they need to look into it and deal with these situations where if a woman is pregnant, that they consider that 2 lives rather than 1 life? And if you want to, remind us about your personal story similar to this, if you don't mind. I'll hang up and listen.
Yeah, I get a few more minutes, and I'll answer your question. If a woman get killed and she's pregnant, should the perpetrator be charged with double murder? I think they should, because that is the most heinous crime that a person can make. It's a pregnant woman. Man, that make my skin crawl. You understand? I know they're delicate. I know that they're bringing a life in this world. I know that they're God gift to this earth. You think a person in their right mind is going to kill a pregnant person, knowing that they're going to bring life in this world? They are demonic. And to answer your question, he could answer it for you, the guy responsible. You understand? He have a voluntary bill of indictment where he is automatically going to the Supreme Court. That means he finished, okay? And for those young guys out there who quick to anger, right? You don't think, you just want to go there and don't think about the consequences that you're going to do and that you're going to get away with and everything is go, how you planning it out. But take a look at the guy. She went missing, his girlfriend went missing Sunday. He was questioned, I think, Monday. And by Tuesday, he confessed. So what sense does it make for you to go get a gun, playing bad, and a lot of these guys, them are so soft, they never been in police custody. They won't go with the flow that see some of the bad guys, and now they want to be bad, they want to get their gun, they want to be like the bad guys over there. But when you guys get catch, y'all going straight to jail, y'all getting 50 and 100 years. Guys like me who was on the streets, when we get holding the police on, we ain't talking, we taking this beating, Rolly. We ain't talking to our friends. We know we in there for doing crime, and our job is to get out there. And if we talk, Wally, we know we're going to jail and we can incriminate our friends. But today, people are saying these guys are more serious. These guys are more serious, and they're more scarier. They're more serious to shoot the gun. But when they get catching police hand, these guys will tell the police from preschool, straight to junior high school, straight to school, and the police ain't even ask you about what your friend do round the corner there. You tell your boy, chief, my boy and all got one gun stocks this way. We smoking joint this way. And tell the police all kind of things, but the police ain't supposed to know. Then they get catched. They have a voluntary bill of indictment. You know what's voluntary bill of indictment? That means the investigators, the prosecutor officers, has enough evidence to convict you. And if you watch all the guys lately, all of them have this voluntary bill of indictment. You know what I mean? They go there, they commit these serious, heinous crimes, and when they get hold from the police, they scary as hell. And they tell the man everything. That's why they getting voluntary bill of indictment. He killed his girlfriend Monday. So do you think it makes sense to lose your life? Now, he might commit suicide. Because now he got regrets of him killing the girl and also his unborn child. And this way, guilt is catching. Remember Hicks? Killed his wife? And what he did? You remember Hannibal Lecter, the deacon at Bahamas Faith Ministry, who killed his wife and was eating his wife? Huh? When he wake up in the CID hands, he didn't even know he was in CID. He asked the CID what he doing there. And this is a man who was a deacon in Bahamas Faith Ministries. But out of anger and out of jealousy. Most of these cases, anger and jealousy. And when he wake up, Rolly, he in CID hands. And he asked the CID what he doing there. And he get charged for killing his wife and eating his wife. And when he get remanded to prison, you know what he do? He commits suicide. Because he can't live with the guilt, so it comes with a price. You kill somebody, you was a free person, you was not a bad person, you was a law-abiding citizen, but you let jealousy get the better of you in anger. And out of jealousy and anger, you're going to make fatal mistakes. And when you make fatal mistakes, you're going to get the bill of voluntary of indictment. Means that now you're going to jail. You ain't going to be getting that woman no more. You ain't going to be, you ain't going to be sucking those. You ain't going to be doing them breasts. You could be doing the man thing up there. After doing 15 years, it's a man thing up there. Like our Fred Mitchell wants to just to give condoms in prison. He's telling you for that reason. So you ain't want a woman out here. So now you go commit a serious crime. You was never ready for the streets. Want to be a bad boy, want a gun. But when you get hold in the policeman's hand, you can't talk. You tell the man everything and he lost his step in jail. We can take this last call. Go ahead, caller.
Hello.
Hello, good night to you.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine.
Wonderful. This is Shanika Smith. It's my first time calling in.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, now with the discussion you had concerning the candidates for Golden Isles, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to say I believe that the PLP is doing a great job.
Yes, ma'am.
Great job so far. And I have my criticisms about some of their recent moves. I won't get into that.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I wasn't in agreement with that.
Yes, ma'am.
But thus far, before that, yeah, they've been doing a great job because what they promised they have made, reality.
That's good.
Now, they're not perfect, but they've been working, and you can see the work.
That's good.
Now,
That's good.
when the gentleman was saying, and he is supposed to be the representative for that, he wants to be the representative for that area, Mr. Pickstock, he sounds contradictory to me because he was saying what he said, what he will do. He want people make sure. I don't know. It was him who said he want to make sure people listening, right?
That's I think it's Brian. I think it was Brian Brown. Excuse me, from Free National Movement.
Mr. Pickstock.
No, that's Brian Brown. Brian Brown from Free National Movement.
I was going to say, how you could be saying you want people to listen because that would be you are saying that the government who is pressing me in don't listen. But thank you for that correction.
Yes,
because
ma'am.
I was going to say, he sound like he really don't know what he's saying.
Yes, ma'am.
But then the next thing I want to say is that what I want to say is could you hold on?
She in the kitchen. Go ahead. You still there, ma'am?
That oh goodness, is that the people need to hold those people's feet to the fire.
Yes.
In some ways, we are as Bahamians to some degree. We do our job by holding. I don't want to say all of us. Too many of us don't hold
them accountable.
People's feet to the fire. Who say they want to be when they get in, and then they don't do what they say they're going to do, and you re-elect them. And I'm not talking about this present government.
You're talking
Any
all.
candidate that
Yes.
is PLP, FNM, or whatever your team is.
Yes. Stick on them.
Hold the people's feet to the fire.
Yes.
That's a part of accountability and responsibility.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
see my point?
Yes, ma'am. You
We have
completely
to
agree.
take our accountability in it too.
Yes, ma'am.
This is our country. And if the people aren't doing their job, why are you choosing to re-elect them? So I'll just let that be right there for now, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. You did a wonderful job. And again, I said, lady called to verify that in her community, Mr. Pickstock, who is taking over from the late, great Juan Miller, she's taking over the work. She's talking about the work that was left with Juan Miller, fixing the roads and et cetera, and et cetera, and et cetera. So she is saying that from her perspective, and many others, that he was on the ground, and she appreciated what Mr. Miller started now. It's going to be Mr. Pickstock or Mr. Brown or the Coalition of Independence, Brian Roll, vying for the position. But seems the PLP seems to have the head up in that community so far because they're doing some groundwork. I hope it's not too late. I wish they did it in the first year, second year, but it's still better than nothing. I also like to give a shout out to Pierre Global Road, who also is a good member of Parliament. I listened to the response of the residents of the community, and they're very supportive of her. So it tells you about her working the character because she's always working. I don't know, I'm not saying that you should vote for her, but that's in their constituency. And Mr. Thompson talked about the fact that you should, I think he said that you should hold MPs and be able to see what they're doing in their community. The lady said it to hold her feet to the fire, and Mr. Thompson said it as well. But be a Global Road, watch her on Facebook. That's my former classmate. I graduated 1 year before. I was in 92, she was in 91. See her walk out school. And she is tremendously good member of parliament. Also Lisa Bryce. And like I said, there are a few people in the Free National Movement like the doctor in Fox here, Dr. Fox, and there are a few other people who are doing some stuff in the Free National Movement. Also, the opposition leader Michael Pintard is also a good member of parliament. Member of parliament for his constituency, because he does great work in his constituency in Freeport as well. I forget to mention the opposition leader Michael Pintard is also a good minister. You know what I'm saying? He might not be so good an opposition leader as yet, but he is getting there slowly but surely. So this is going to be very interesting. Again, I want to give a shout out to Omar. Oh shoot, Frankie's downstairs. Man, Frankie, I didn't know you was downstairs, man. Just look on the mic, Frankie. Oh man. But anyway, Frankie was downstairs, but I say be completely out of time. Let me give a chance one again. Frankie, sorry, but I'm giving a chance out right now. Sorry about that, Frankie. We're completely out of time. Tomorrow, Fritz Lane, best costume party. Kids, adults, there will be many giveaways, surprises for the best costume out there. Fritz Lane. That's where Charms One is. That's a new location. Fritz Lane. So please, everyone in that community, please come out and show your support. Because Frankie will look out for the kids. He will look out for the whole entire community. So on behalf of Charms One, tomorrow, there will be a costume day. I guess it's Halloween. So please come out. There will be a lot of eats and drinks and everything that is available for you. Please come out tomorrow. It's from 2 until. So that's going to tell it tonight. So Frankie, again, great community leader. And